do want to say one thing to Ed and to you all too. I'm a very good student. So when I contacted CAPS, I followed the information he just gave to you, letter by letter. Letter by letter, and we were very successful. Very successful. We don't have the traffic on our street that we used to in terms of drug dealing and kids, little 8-year-olds looking out for the drug dealers. We don't have that anymore. We used to have that all the time. We just followed the list that he said, and we formed committees to take care of the business. We did, what do you call it, Ed? Positive lawyering. That was very successful. Every time we saw drug deals going down, or 2 or 3 or 4 people stopping on our street that didn't belong on our street, we would go and stand by them with our cell phones to our ears, call the cops. And pretty soon they would just move on away. And they taught us what we had to do. Make sure you know what they look like. When you call us, you say, well, we saw somebody with black gym shoes, with a red shirt. You got to know the details. Don't just call. But our concern in our block is not just sending people to jail. We want to keep them out of jail. So we've been working with the young mothers, the single mothers in our block to make sure. And I'm happy to say today, we have, there was a single mother living across the street. She has 9 kids. 2 of our boys are already in college. The mother I told you about, whose son was killed on my block, she has 9 kids. 2 of her boys are already in college. One just graduated from this school this year, and he's going to college in the fall. Isn't that great? Yeah. We can do great things if we work together. We're very proud of them. Our block club always make sure when they graduate that we acknowledge it, we give them gifts, we give them a little bit of change in their hands, and we may make them some cookies or something. So they appreciate it. So they are doing well. We are so proud of them. All right, we're going to start now. We have Cyrone Smith. He's going to do a Block Club University. And we're going to have some breakout sessions, and he's going to lead you on that. He's going to stay down here. He's going to stay down here. So stay right where you are. We're going to bring the Block Club University on. Let's give them a round of applause. Let them know that we're glad that they're here today. Mr. Smith, welcome.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Pleasure. If I can move around. May I ask if we can stand up and stretch, please? Can we get everyone to stand up and stretch? My name is Cyrone Smith, but everyone just calls me Cy. That's why. And I'm joined here by my wife, Jamaica. She's going to help. We were going to do the classrooms upstairs, but we think we can get this done right here. I promise to be brief, so you can have a seat. Thank you. Quick bio. The National Block Club University was founded in July of 2003. The sole focus is about homicide prevention. As we all know, in Chicago, we live in an environment where we're losing way too many people to murder. And so what we started was similar to what Ceasefire does, tracking the violence, going on the blocks, and getting to know the neighbors. The key, and I think you spoke about it, is getting to know your neighbor. Even if you don't want to, it's important for your own survival and safety to do that. We're in 20 zip codes in Chicago, and each zip code is linked to a different U.S. city. We just got back from New York last Saturday with the Chicago teenagers going door to door in New York, and the purpose of that is because a lot of these young men that you see out here pants sagging and looking lost, they need to get away from the environment that they're in. That's critical, and I don't want to date myself, but I grew up in Cabrini Green. Whole family gang banging and all of that, so I'm sensitive to that terminology of gang banging. I don't want to get too much into it, but what it boils down to is relationships. And so the paper that you should have is a relationship document that talks about human development. I've been doing this almost 20 years. I've yet to meet someone who wakes up in the morning saying, I want to be a loser. I'm going to say that again, almost 2 decades. Never met someone who said, can't wait to be a loser this morning. And having said that, a lot of brothers have given up. And so when you see them out there, what you're really seeing is hopelessness. And the idle mind, as we all know, is the end of these workshops. So they're really in the workshop. And so what we want to do, and the purpose of this presentation we're going to do, is how do we help people be all that they can be? I know that sounds military. I'm a 14-year Navy vet too. But that's the Army terminology. We all need to be. Navy is full speed ahead. So if we could, Flip it over to the one that says stabilizer report. It's a 2-page document. The backside we're not going to talk about, you can read on your own. It just gives you different age brackets, because what I always tell people, what is the plan for the 10-year-old? If you don't have a plan 10 years from now, they could be the murderer of someone that you know. So we should have a plan for every age bracket. There should be a plan. So on the other side, it talks about where you are. Now this can be embarrassing. I did this with Val Free on 67th and Parkside, I think, and we didn't share the numbers, so it's real private. You get to keep it yourself. But it's called the stabilizer report. Do we have any pens? Everyone have something ready? This will be real brief, but it's interesting. Raise your hand if you need a pen. And you don't want the person next to you to see your results. You can scoot away from them. Because when you're done with this, you're going to know how stable you are as a person. This is all personal. All right? Me and my wife, we do this every 3 months. We see how stable we are. So, all right. So, the alderman don't have one. Where? Do we have extra copies? Where are the other copies? It was 150, so we should have 100 copies.
Are there any additional copies?
All right. Okay, so there are 8 areas, if you will, that when you look at yourself, you can tell where you are. And when you look at destabilized neighborhoods, the chances are it's the people. Just like the school isn't bad, it's the people in the school. So it's the same thing here. When you look at destabilized neighborhoods, it's probably the people. So the first one, if you look there, and all, I'm going to cheat off of yours. I'm not going to look at your numbers, though. The first one is career. Career. So no matter what the age bracket is, if you're a little child, then you look at the career aspect and say, what do you know what you want to grow up and become? All right. So from a scale of 1, meaning the lowest, to the scale of 5 is the highest. Where are you in your career? And if you're not on track, you're probably going to be a 1 there. It's okay. As long as you're aware of it and that you can work on it. 5 means you're rocking and rolling, you're right where you want to be in your career. All right. The next one, income, I think. Income. All right. So same thing. 1, you're not where you want to be with your money situation. 5, you're on top of the world. You're helping everybody. All right. Love. Now love is tricky because this is a mixture of your mate as well as your family. So however you discern that, where are you with your relationship with your loved ones, your family, and as well as your spouse? I won't look at yours. All right, the numbers. Social. All right, some people it's all work, no play, or vice versa. So here, where are you with the social aspect of your life? That's important to have balance in life. It helps to make sure that you're there for the long haul and not stressing out, burning out. Then you have mental. Now that's where church comes in. That church really helps us keep our mental state, even though that's the spiritual side. But a lot of times when we go to church, it helps us to mentally decompress and release and get back right. But where are you in your mindset? Are you always negative? Are you, hurting? Are you stressed out? 1 to 5. Where are you with that one? Then the next one, spiritual. Voila. So just because you go to church don't mean you're a 5. Right?
No, it don't. Not at all.
I ride the CTA. Some people reading that Bible, they won't even speak to you. So
Amen. You ain't yes, that's right.
Where are you? Physical. Are you in shape?
Dang.
Are you where you want to be physically? Are you working out? Do you have a plan to work out? Is it even on your radar to work out?
Well, yeah, I do work out.
All right, recreation. Not physical, right? Oh, we did physical. All right, now, do you have fun? It's so important to laugh, smile. If you always angry in your face,
I feel like another one on that. I'm not having fun.
Look at it and say, what am I doing
yourself.
to release stress, to have fun again? And so when you get that total those numbers up, and I tell you, the top scores are 40. And if you're 40, I want you to raise your hand. You'll put you on the spotlight. I want to take a picture with you. Now, half of 40, 50% of 40 is 20. So hopefully we got a bunch of 20s and up in here. That means we 50% where we need to be in terms of stability. And keep this in mind, you guys. Like I said, my wife and I do this quarterly. It fluctuates. You lose your job, you can go from 5 in income to 1 in income. You know what I mean? You lose your mate with the murder in Chicago and go from your love being down to 1. So this is a constant. So I would keep this, and you grade yourself constantly. But when you look at this is what we're up against. somebody is excellent in one area and they can help somebody else in that area. So that's where the community and block by block, we can start to really love each other and stabilize our neighborhoods. Remember, most of these guys out here, everyone is giving up on them. Everywhere they went, someone shut the door, so they just said, forget it. And so when we start working on helping to stabilize them, you're going to see them open up and try and do some things they haven't done before. So that, how we looking? Everyone got their totals? All right, we're not going to ask you shit, but anyone with a 40? Val, you saying you have a 40? I saw a hand. You said 40? Excellent. All right.
Who got 40? Who got 40?
Oh, you just telling me a score. You a model. Yeah, you a model. Yeah, excellent. What was your question? Excellent. Now, being humble is important because it can change in an instant. Yeah, it can change. Like you do a job, one day, you do something happen, it can change. So while you there, help some other people pull them up. It fluctuates. But that concludes it, you guys. The ranks, you see the percentages there, so you can, next month you do it and it fluctuates. You can measure your percentage. But at the end of the day, what you guys are doing is so important. How do we stabilize our neighborhoods? And you stabilize neighborhoods by stabilizing the people in the neighborhood. So thank you guys. Any questions at all? What if they don't want to be stabilized? Remember what I said? Who said that? I love that. Thank you for that. What I found, what we use, because some guys, I remember on 63rd and Walcott, this guy, we had the list of people who been murdered, and he told us that was they lick, his terminology, so they did that. And he was the person out of all my years of doing this who had the most hopelessness that I've ever seen. Nothing I was trying was penetrate because he just didn't care, right? We used to ask him, we said, all right, we get all that. When is your birthday? When's your birthday? Nah, we asked him that, when's his birthday? And he reluctantly told us, and it was coming up, we said, okay, we're going to do something special for your birthday. That was the only way we got him to reduce the toughness that he had was something that was real personal to him. His once a year special day, if you will. Now, granted, we didn't connect with him because he didn't want to give us his phone number, but that's what we use when people don't want to cooperate with nothing else, don't want to be helped. We need to find a way to love them on their special day once a year. So we got young children doing arts and crafts, making bracelets and little things for people's birthday. All right? Taking up their time to do something special. Because I really believe that even him, now he got to work out going to jail, so yeah, he's not looking at the future too bright because of what's coming up, but most people want to be successful. Most people. Most people. So, any other questions at all? You guys are going to have a great event. Thank you so much. And use this and spread it to other people. Don't worry about the copyright. You can share that with other people.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I think we're back on schedule almost.
I'm going to leave these here with you guys too. These are career clubs. Thank you, Val.
Okay, Ollie Burma. Next on our agenda, she's going to talk about phone trees. Ollie's out here. Yes. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's Val's fault.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm blaming. I'm so sorry. He is going to talk about phone trees. Thank you, Ollie. I apologize profusely.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing today?
Good. She came.